Hello there. Good afternoon. SportsTownChicago.com. All access Aurora Borealis. We take a look at this minor league soccer club out there in Aurora. Last week we were here. What a strange in 1 week. They played their first game in the Premier League of America. Now we're going to look at the game. We're going to obviously look at the score. But for some reason, I'm not too interested in looking at the score first up. There's something else that really caught my eye on the reviews of the game. Once again, we have with us Coach CJ Brown. CJ, welcome again.
How are you? Thank you.
And yeah, Pete asked me about it. Yeah, Pete, I didn't wash my hands, so now you know it's a double no wash. But anyway, just reading the reports on the game here, Coach. And I'm going to quote here, Aurora played very tactical and kept great shape throughout the game. And this was stated by head coach Bruce Wilden of Carpathia, whom they played in that opening game. The team was well organized and you could tell that they were well coached. Now I figure the last part of that quote you'd rather me not put to you, so as you know, I'm sure you don't want me to put you on the spot like that about the coaching aspect of it, but we will take that for what it's worth. It's a very invaluable comment and compliment from an opposing coach. But Aurora played very tactical and kept great shape throughout the game. Agree?
Yes. I think the guys are kind of figuring each other out, and we knew we were on the road. The goal was going in to get either 1 or 3 points, and I think we actually saw an opportunity for 3, and that kind of going into that, we kind of got ourselves a little loose towards the end, but I think overall we were pretty well defending, compact as a group, and we had a lot of opportunities going forward. So all the stuff that we talked about, we tried and we were doing pretty well, but then obviously a few minor mistakes cost us, which, I mean, it's kind of what we've been talking about from the building of preseason. We're not finishing our opportunities, and defensively we're giving up that 1 or 2 mistakes that's crushing us, and so it's still there, still lingering, so hopefully we keep growing from it.
Right. Now, first game out the way, butterflies gone, or are they still fluttering around there somewhere?
I'm going to say the butterflies should always be there, hopefully, but I think guys, when we left that game, guys were like, you know what, we're starting to feel like we belong. You know, that they know they can compete with these teams. Obviously, we haven't played against Adria's or Toledo's yet, but I think there's a team in this conference that we think we should be able to compete on a day-to-day basis with. So the guys have left that game, because I asked a lot of them, sat with them and said, hey, what are you feeling out there? Like, you know, we know we kind of messed up in certain ways, but we see that we can compete with the teams that we're stepping on the field with, and I think it's now we're gaining that confidence. So I think it's just going to take some time before it tips over the edge and we start getting the W.
Okay. And confidence, keyword right there, very important in the game of soccer. Matter of fact, very important in sports overall and life. But let's talk now about the result. Carpathia, they won the game 2-1. Now, for a brand new team as Aurora coming into the league, probably one would not have been surprised if the margin was wider. However, the interesting thing is that the new team, Aurora, they actually took the lead in the second half, and that is after they totally dominated shooting in the first half. Again, not taking their chances. But Coach, I'm sure with the team creating chances, especially on the road, that is something in and of itself that must pleases you.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we always say our outside, movement is going to be our biggest threat going forward, and I thought we got a lot of that. And we had a lot of opportunities on goal, which we haven't had in preseason. So to see that we're finally getting in that final third is really positive. Obviously, we still need to work on putting it in the back of the net. But it's building confidence, and I think you said it yourself, building confidence is the key to success. And once these guys keep filling themselves in that area and getting natural at putting it on frame, I think it's just going to open up the floodgates hopefully for us.
Right, and on frame, You forced a number of good saves out of the goalkeeper, Scott Messer.
Yes.
And that in and of itself is another important thing, because it's one thing to get a strike at the target, to get it on target and force the goalkeeper to work is also a big thing.
Yes, we walked away going, the keeper was by far their MVP of the game, of the whole game, and he made some really crucial saves. Jesse Ortiz had one upper V that, from where my angle, looked like it was going in, and I didn't even see the keeper come out. I mean, he came out of nowhere to grab that one. And then Colby got in on a few 1v1s, and the keeper was making saves off his face, and it was impressive. He did a great job, and we had some actually really good corners, and he was coming big on the corners too. So I think, I'm pleased. I'm pleased with what the guys did. Obviously frustrated with not getting the win when we were up a goal, but that's just still showing the lack of our maturity and and a lot of it leans on me as a coach. I made some early subs that I probably should have kind of felt my team out a little bit more and entrusted them a little bit more. So it's a learning process for all of us.
Right. But tactically, you've always spoken, and you just mentioned again, the strength of the team is really going forward. So you're saying basically what you saw in this opening game was not just glimpses, but a clear indication that this team is willing to work its strengths in this league.
Yeah, definitely. We got a little careless with trying to put balls in the air because that's not our strength. But when you see the ball on the ground and we start making good movements and good runs, it looks actually really nice. It's a lot of good combinations going up the sidelines, and I think the guys are starting to see, if we just stick to it, it works. We get a little impatient, we get a little nervous, and if we get nervous, then we start booting balls, and that's just not the way that we're effective. And so I think, hopefully we can keep growing through that.
Right. So the first half, the first 45 minutes ended goalless. Then what do you know? In quick time, Jesse Ortiz was on the score sheet. One of those chances paid off, and Aurora was up 1-0.
Yes.
However, in just about as quick time, the game was level because Carpathia, they replied and they leveled. Now, does that now speak now to the defensive end of this team?
That really speaks to the defensive group as a whole, from forward to back line. Before we got that goal, leading into the beginning of the second half, just watching the guys' mannerisms on the field, it looked like they were fatiguing and getting tired. And before the goal came, I was actually getting ready to make a sub. And so that goal kind of came out of the run of play for them at that moment, because they came at us a little bit right at the beginning of the second half. And that is when I should have entrusted in myself and the players and just say, hey, we got this goal. Maybe this sparks us a little bit and we push through it. But I made the sub, and I think that might have been the turning point where guys started backing off plays. We were forcing plays, and then the goal came from us, our lazy not lazy defending. I think it is forgetting how we defend, because we like to force things wide, and we let them come in. And both goals, one was down the middle, the other one, the guy came down the side and cut in, and both of them crushed us. And we've been training to push things wide, and when we didn't, it ended up crushing us. So just losing the goal of what we were trying to play.
And we mentioned last week, we spoke of the fitness of the team and the fact that they play on a smaller field, and we wondered how they would handle on the road. You spoke to the fitness level, not necessarily being there, but if you had just entrusted them a little bit more, you could have gotten probably the draw.
I think so. I think that that would have definitely helped. We took a hit right towards just before I think they started scoring goals. We lost Edwin Munoz. He got a foot injury, so he ended up coming out, and then Arsene joined in with him. But that was right in the heat of the way Carpathia was starting to get their movement and going forward, and I think we lose a little bit of our pressure that we were imposing on them from our center back. So their forwards started getting a little bit loose. They started putting more balls forward, and there was more space. They started creating more space. So I think if Edwin were to stay healthy in that, I think we probably could have come out of that in a 1-1 situation. But to be honest, literally from that point on, we were almost camping on the top of our box. And I think any team that camps on the top of their box for 45 minutes is guaranteed to give up 1 or 2 goals, and we did.
Definitely. break under pressure. Now, obviously, positives to take from the game. Big game tomorrow evening, RWB Adria, the defending champions. They just lost to Toledo United 1-0.
Yes.
And we figure that they'll be gunning for the 3 points tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But then you'll be at home, and coming out of this first game experience, how now are you looking to approach tomorrow's game?
We're going to stick to who we are and continue to try to keep playing through the thirds of the field, obviously using our flanks as usual. There will be a little more emphasis on defending as a group. I will 100% keep pushing the fact of how we want to defend and force the game in certain areas of the field. And I think Adria presents a lot of issues for us. They have a really veteran goal scorer. And not only the goal scorer, but he's a physical player. And it's going to be another day to see if our guys are going to be man enough to step up and make it hard for him. And I think if we make it hard for him, then we're going to get opportunities. But we're still going to keep trying to play the same way we play. Whether we win, lose, or draw, it's about developing and growing. And if we can keep finding guys that fit in the way we want to play, I think whether it's tomorrow night or the next game we play against them, you're going to see us progress the way we want to.
Okay. All right. So that's it. As we wrap up now, home game, first home game of the Premier League of America against a tough RWE Adria team, the defending champions. Coach, speak now to the fans of Aurora Borealis. What would you want to say to them in this your opening home game at the Ohio Mooseheart facility?
I think it's a great opportunity, one, to see Chicago people. In Aurora, you got your local talent of young kids that are trying to express themselves on the field, and then you're going to have a local team that these are guys that work and go to school, and they're the community playing this sport that we all love, and we're all getting together to play against each other. And obviously there's no rivalry right now. They're at the top and we're just beginning, but it's a great atmosphere for local people to come out and see the local talent. And I mean, who knows, the future, this could be some of the future, and maybe a small group of them, but this is who we all are, everyday workers that love the game, that come out to play the game. And it would be great to have more people come support them and watch them. And I mean, it could be your friends out there. So I would love to see a packed house and people watching a great game. So come on out.
All right, you heard it. Tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, Ohio Mooseheart Stadium out there in Aurora. Now, if for some reason you can't make it to the stadium, you can join us right here on SportsTownChicago.com, because we will have the game live, like I said, starting at 7 o'clock. And then for next week, Thursday, you can join us again right here on All Access Aurora Borealis as we take a look at the happenings from tomorrow's game over the week and into the third game of what will then be the third game for this franchise in the Premier League of America. That's where we're going to put a lid on things. I'm Courtney Wallace on behalf of CJ Brown, coach of Aurora Borealis, and on behalf of the entire SportsTownChicago.com family, saying thanks for watching. Good afternoon.